Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the live Tash Talk Show. We are on episode 33. That means for 33 weeks, you have been consuming, loving, enjoying these live shows, which I'm absolutely thrilled about because I love, it's definitely one of my, I don't know what you would call it, like core factors. That what's really important to me is to give. And I think being a generator, and if you don't know your human design, definitely get to know it. It's something I teach within Conscious Coach and my tribe, my membership for mindset. So definitely get into the know about your human design. So excuse me, for me being a generator, I love direction of question. I love someone asking me a question and then I have got to seek the solution to that. I just love that. I love when someone goes, what's your thoughts on this? You know, should I do this or this? Why is this not working? Is it because of this? Like, I love that. And I think that's probably why I'm a coach. It fits to me perfectly. But actually, even in my personal life, I when someone says, what should we have for dinner? I'm like, oh, my mind is so busy and active in the day, like running a business, well, businesses, that I kind of lose space to kind of facilitate more answers of that. So what I prefer is someone goes, do you like this or this? I'm like, brilliant, boom. Do you want fish or would you like corn for dinner? Right, and you get those answers. So this, to me, doing a Q&A is just like my love language. I absolutely freaking love it. And the juicier, the more kind of context you can give them for the questions, the better the answers, really. I always say this to my clients: ask me good questions, like get the details in, but concise. Okay, we don't need a question that goes on for 20 minutes. And I can give you the best advice as your coach. Okay, so first update. Well, firstly, I want to say welcome. I know there's so many newbies that have come into the Facebook group, so I just want to say welcome and hello, and I hope that you are going to love this experience of the Soulful Badass. If you don't know, then every single Friday, I say every single Friday, apart from when the team let you know that I'm not. Like, for example, last Friday, it was my mum and sister's birthday, so there was no Tash Talks live show, right? But the majority of Fridays, I will be in here live at 10 a.m. with a Tash Talks. So whether I'm answering your questions, whether I'm coming with a riff, maybe there's a subject or a topic that I want to discuss and kind of dive into more, then we'll do that. But every Friday, unless the team tell you otherwise, 10 a.m. here live. Second, you can come, and every single Friday as well, the Tash Talks podcast drops. So this week's episode, which is, I'm just checking which number it was, 14. And this was about avoiding success. Now, this was a spicy one. So if you're ready for some spice, get yourself into this podcast, right? Because it is spicy. I'm going to call you out. And one of the things that I've always kind of had this feedback when it comes to, especially with the podcast, is you really called me out, Tash. Like, that podcast, I feel like you're talking to me, like you were talking to my heart, my pain points, my pleasure points. Like, I literally felt you wrote that podcast to me. And that's exactly what I want, right? I want to be that coach that calls you out. Why? Because if you're going to always do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you've always got. And that's not what you want. You want to break through those glass ceilings. You want to achieve bigger and better and bolder things. So I want to be that coach that calls you out in order for you to have that awareness. It's kind of like having that mirror back at you to go, right, okay, this is the work I need to do. This is what I need to, sometimes I need to see this. And sometimes, just sometimes, it may trigger you, and that's okay. I have had many of my coaches have actually triggered me, and then I've gone on to work with them. And this isn't a thing on them, like it's not a thing on me. When we experience a trigger, it's an opportunity to see things through a different lens for us to change, develop, grow. Okay. And if we're not getting triggered by things, it's just showing us the awareness around what actually needs some work. So don't give yourself a hard time if you do get triggered by something I've said in my lives or in my podcasts. Like, you can send me a DM and you can tell me, right? I can take it. I'm a big girl. This is exactly why I do this podcast. I want to push you outside your comfort zone. So I'm going to say things and I'm going to call you out, and that's also okay, right? So yeah, in this week's episode, we're talking about, are you avoiding success? And the reason why I think I may know why you are avoiding success, and most importantly, how you can change that. And I always say that awareness is key. Awareness is the first step in change. We have to be aware of something. If we're not aware of something, then how would you expect to change? And I go into this I cannot remember the episode off by heart. Actually, 1 minute and I will be able to tell you the exact number of the episode. She says, I'm nearly certain it's episode 9. Yep. Episode 9, how to create change that lasts. And this is where we go into the stages of unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. So if you're like, you have no idea what I'm talking about right now, get into the podcast, listen to that one. It's incredible. But awareness is stage 1, which is if you don't have the awareness, then you're an unconscious incompetence. Like, you do not know you need this skill. You do not know that you need to change your mindset. You do not know you need to develop and master this. Okay. But when we get into step 2, which is conscious competence, that's when we have the awareness where we're like, oh, okay, yeah, this has come up for me. This has challenged me. This has triggered me. This is what I need to work on. So I think oh no, there's something else I need to tell you. I'm doing a free workshop next Wednesday, which is Wednesday, the 25th of October at 7:30 BST, British summertime. And this workshop is called I'm Your Coach, right? And it's for inspiring 6-figure CEOs who want an interactive experience with me. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going into 3 pillars that create a 6-figure business. Okay. So we're going to be going CEO mindset, CEO strategy, and CEO support, right? But there's a difference. It's not just a workshop where I'm going to teach you. It's interactive. So you're actually going to get a personal experience of what it's like to have me as your one-on-one coach. So there's going to be hot seat coaching. So when you join up, which I'm going to drop the link, don't worry, I'll drop the link into the comment box. When you sign up to come and join for this experience, right, you're going to want to be live. Why? Because you are going to get a chance to be hot seat coached by me. Let me just, perfect. Just put it into the chat box for you. So once you sign up, you go to the landing page, put your name, your email address, and your Instagram handle on there for me. And then once you then go to you get the welcome email. On that, there will be a link for you to fill in a form so I can get some more information about you. You give me your Instagram handle, you give me the things that you're struggling with your mindset. What would you love to help with your Instagram, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm going to pick people live on that workshop in those 3 different areas. So get yourself inside this workshop and get yourself applying into that form as well, because that is going to be epic. Yes, there will be replays sent out to everybody afterwards, but I really would urge you to jump on to this live and really immerse yourself into this one-off experience. This is really going to kind of give you a taste of what it's like to have me as your coach. You know, these are incredible. Listening to my podcast, listening to and coming, jumping on, watching me live, whether you watch the replay or not, is incredible. But don't forget, I'm just talking to camera. I'm answering your personal questions, but I'm doing it to literally to the laptop. Whereas this is literally going to be face to face. Like, we're all going to be on the Zoom. I'm going to see your faces. You know, you're going to be able to unmute yourselves. You know, if you get picked to the hot seat, and like, it's going to be incredible. It's going to give you a taste of what it's like to actually be one of my clients. So I'm very excited about this. So yeah, I've dropped the link. Come on over and I'll see you next Wednesday. So let's get into the juicy questions. I'll try and answer as much as I can in the time that I've got. This is my first question in Tash Talks. Oh, congratulations. And I'm so excited to get your help. Okay, so I'm currently struggling with converting my audience into paying clients. I'm currently making 2K per month. Amazing. And my audience size is 1,500. Great. I'm a mindset coach and I'm posting the content and busy doing all the things like you say, but yet don't seem to be able to break through from this 2K mark. Would love your advice, as not sure if it's a strategy or a mindset problem. Okay, great question, by the way. Just great. Oh, yeah, love it. Okay. We're going to dig into both parts here, and I'm just going to keep referencing back so I make sure I get the numbers correct. Okay, so firstly, we're going to work on the strategy. And I actually did check out your Instagram. So very smartly, what you done was you you have your Instagram handle available over on your Facebook. That's how I was able to find it. Okay. So you make it really, really like just simple and easy for me to do. Like you've got to think about, does your ideal client have enough time to start searching you? No. So, I wanted to find something where I could easily do it. Now, if that wasn't there, I wouldn't have done it, but it was. So I was like, brilliant. Let me check this out. So I did. So, okay. My feedback was this. From looking at your Instagram, and I didn't go into like tons of detail, of course, but just kind of from the outside looking in, very much an overview. It wasn't clear on actually who it is that you serve and you help. Okay. Now, as a mindset coach, yeah, I get it that you do mindset, but who the hell do you help? Like, am I even your ideal client? Like, are you looking for someone like me that's in business, that's, building their business 7 figures? Like, is it me that you actually want to help, or is it stay-at-home mums, or is it someone that's in the corporate world, or is it men? Like, I wasn't very sure from your Instagram who it is that you actually help. So definitely look at dialing that in. Another thing that came up, because I read a few of your posts in some good detail, I reckon probably looked at about 3. You really need to work on mastering your messaging, and you want to dial into the fact of showing up as the expert. I feel like you're hiding. I feel like you're good at what you do, but I only can sense that because I'm an energy person. I can't really see that from your Instagram. I don't see enough of the proof of why you are that go-to person for mindset. Okay. I feel like in something that like I teach with my clients is what you're missing is like an authoritative pieces of your content. Like, why should somebody work with you and not another mindset coach, i.e. me? How are you going to stand in the position of what you actually sell? Like the transformation, I'm not clear of, right? Of what it is that you sell. And repetition is key. Like, don't ever think that you're repeating yourself. Like, we need between 7 and 21 touch points with somebody before we make a decision about working with them. Okay. So you really want to think about, is the message landing? And I feel like that was the little off bit, because it wasn't very clear on who it was that you actually served. That came across in your messaging. It was quite broad. Whereas, you're speaking to everyone, you're going to speak to nobody. You want to dial into that ideal client. Just loads of different ideas are coming up now of what you could do to really kind of dial it in, because you are getting clients. So I'd really dial into the clients that you have got and really get into their heads. Love your branding. I felt like that was chef kisses. Really liked that. And I think this is really tied into the mindset work with it, because the question I want to ask you is, do you truly believe that you can double what you're making? So you're making 2K each month consistently, I believe you wrote, right? Which is first and foremost incredible. You're consistently making 2K a month. That's incredible. So thank you. Do you truly believe that you can double that, make 4K? Do you truly believe if you triple that, could you make 6K? What if we quadrupled that? Could you make 8K a month? 8K a month, it's the 6-figure mark. Once you get to 8K cash months, you've made 100K, right? It's not 10K. That's actually over. It's 120K. I say this all the time, but could you do that? Do you truly believe? Now, what I want to ask you is, you say that you make 2K. Okay, now add a 0. Do you believe you could make 20K cash months? Okay. And what I want you to do is, I want you to see here, get your journal out, what beliefs come up for you. Excuse me, I am clearing my chakra because the truth is coming out. What beliefs are come up for you when I say that? Because, and the reason why I wanted to ask you that is, we've got to have the belief work there to start with. Okay. Because how we build our confidence is by success. Now I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Sorry guys, 1 minute. Under pressure. It's right there, when you've got a sneeze right there. You've got to have that belief work. So in order for us to build confidence, to stand in our expertise, stop thinking that it has to be a monetary value in order for you to step into your value, right? For you to step into the positioned expert. I've got to feel that from you when I go onto your page. I've got to feel that you know that and you're standing into that. And I feel like this, from the missing piece of the mindset work of you actually not stepping into the identity of a mindset coach that is truly successful and creates amazing results, and is also, I never hear you celebrating the fact that you're on consistent months right now, right? I think sometimes we can get so walked up in thinking that it's got to be the 10K mark before it's even of value to share. Hell no. There's so many people out there. Let's just say you are helping business owners that are starting off that are not making any money in their business and would love to be making 2K consistent months right now. So you need to stand in that. And if you don't have to talk about every time you make 2K, but you can talk about the fact you make consistent months, cash months every month. You can talk about the fact that you've signed X amount of clients this month. These are the transformations that my clients have got this month. So you're really kind of stepping into the power. So when I'm looking on your Instagram, I'm like, oh, wow, right? I'm not going to work with her because she's only making 2K a month, right? I'm looking thinking, wow, she's standing in her power. She's someone I need help with. I've worked with coaches that actually I've earned more money than them, but because that's not what I'm actually working with them for. If it is, if someone, if you're going to work with someone, you actually want to learn, let's say, their business strategy of how, because they're making this much money, then of course that's why we go to them to get to that. But the majority of people are not coming to work with you because of how much money you make. And something I actually worked with a client, I think, was it last year or was it 18 months ago? And she really felt like a fraud because she was a mindset coach and she was struggling. She was struggling so bad with, she just wasn't signing clients. She was great at what she'd done, but she wasn't signing clients. And a lot to do with that was to do with the strategy as well as her own mindset we had to work on. But she felt like a fraud that she couldn't show up and talk about what it is that she does, the mindset work, because of the money struggles that she was in. And I was like, whoa. You're the type of person I want to listen to. If you can show up and embody yourself as that go-to expert in mindset whilst going through the financial struggles that you're going through, you are the mindset coach I want to be with. If you're able to handle that, as well as still run your business, and once we worked through that and we worked on the strategy, we were able to change the financial situation, of course. But I really said to her, you need to honor this. You need to give yourself like a light and shine it right back at yourself and go, this is incredible that I'm able to do this. Sometimes we can get so focused on the value of success being how much money we make, rather than actually being in the business and actually getting through the day to day and navigating through the triggers and the blocks and the shifts that we've got to make. And growth can be challenging. Anyway, I've absolutely digressed here, but I just want to let me just round up and go back to where I am. Yes. So I feel like the mindset work, and listen, I don't want there to feel any resistance at you being a mindset coach, that you've got to work on your mindset. I'm a mindset business coach. I work on my mindset all the time. I have a mindset coach, because this is so important. We're coaches of coaches. Like, it's so important that we get out of our own way. And sometimes we can be so great at what we do and we can get our clients the most incredible results, yet we don't actually take our same advice ourselves. And I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I'm teaching these strategies and I'm like, I actually need to get my team to do that for myself, or I need to do that more. I'm always banging on to my clients about show more testimonials. Then I'm like, put the light back on myself. I need to show more testimonials, right? So sometimes we need our coaches to kick us up the asses and go, right, you need to really work on this. So do not think as a mindset coach, like the work is done and you should be complete and there's no more work that's further needed. Like, absolutely. And that's what's going to make you the most incredible mindset coach. So what I think's missing is the identity piece. You actually stepping into being that mindset coach that can show up, that makes 8K cash months. Okay. Stepping into her energetically, not the physical realm, energetically. Then in the physical realm, this is what we need to then step into when it comes to our strategy, the authoritative posts. That's what's missing. I really feel like if you could now marry them together, I think you're going to be sailing. And just on that, when we talk about identity, it's really one of the really important factors what I work with my one-on-one clients, and the whole thing of Conscious Coach is you stepping into the identity. Like, this isn't at this level. This is surface level. I'm talking about when we go down deeper, we go down to the subconscious level, like it's deep. On an identity level, you are showing up, your behaviors are showing up, and you're taking action from that identity level. So what we want to do is shift it into the identity level of a successful CEO, someone that's an inspiring 6-figure badass that shows up, she does the work, she stands in her authority, she is the go-to person. Like, you have to own your own goddamn power. You have got to like blow your own hoot. You've got to do that, right? And this comes an identity level. When you're able to shift that identity level, you show up differently, you behave differently, you act differently, you have different actions. Well, guess what? That gets you very, very different results. This might be a silly question. No questions are silly. But do you work on your own mindset every day? If so, how long and what do you do? Yes, absolutely. It's an absolute non-negotiable for me to work on my mindset every single day. Holiday, at home. If I'm staying away or I'm at home. If I'm in the middle of a forest, on a beach, or in my bed, like, it's an absolute non-negotiable. Not just because I'm a mindset coach, because that is very, very important that I practice what I preach, but also for myself as an entrepreneur, as a mum, as a daughter, as a wife, as a friend, as a freaking soul, as a human that has experienced, like, I'm a spiritual soul that's experienced a physical reality, right? I'm walking on a physical realm. It's so important for us to do that work on ourselves, 1,000,000%. The timings, how long? Very, very different. It used to be like 2 hours. Now it depends on Santiago's schedule, but it can be anything from 20 minutes to an hour and a half. It just really depends. This morning, Santiago was up, like, ready calling my name at 5:30. Thank goodness I got up at 5. So I had at least 25 minutes. And then, for example, I'll filter some stuff throughout my day. But yeah, between 20 minutes and an hour and a half, I would say. What do? I do meditation. I jump into doing audio that's in my Conscious Coach podcast vault. I'll then make a coffee and do my journaling and my gratitudes. I do affirmations kind of throughout the day. And just for context, I just want to add this. I think it's really, really important because we can automatically, when someone says what they do, we think, oh, that's what I need to do. So I want to give you some context. But I'm also in bed at 9 p.m. Okay. So I'm not a night owl. I don't work nights. Like, I'm not in my creative juices are flowing. Like, don't even dare think that I will jump on a meeting at 9 p.m. Are you joking? Like, my brain is like gone. You want to meet at 5 a.m.? Let's go. You want to get out and have a coffee and have a walk? Let's go. Right. So that works for me. So it wouldn't work for you getting up at 5 a.m. if you're going to bed at 12 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, like, you'll just end up exhausted. So I'm a morning person. I've created that in myself. That's a new identity. That wasn't always the case for me for many, 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 many years ago. So I just want to add that context. I've also got, my son, Santiago, which is very different. Some people have, I remember actually, a client, must have been years ago now. It's when obviously I didn't have Santiago. And she was like, oh, wow, I want to do it. That's what I need to do. I need to set 2 hours ahead of my day so I can work on my morning routine. I'm like, whoa. You have 4 kids. You have 4 children. I don't. I had Penelope at that point? Yes. I've got Penelope. Like, that's it. Okay. So you can't compare yourself to somebody. Like, there's some people that can do that. For example, like, I've got other people, like biz besties, for example, wouldn't dream of getting up at 5 a.m. Okay. So you've really got to kind of feel into and lean into what feels good to you. What you do want to do is create a success ritual. That's what works for you. That becomes a non-negotiable. So like, that is your non-negotiable success stuff, right? Did you always believe that you would get to 6 figures even when it didn't look like it in your external world? Yes, I always had the belief. Hope's probably the better word. I always had the hope, the dreams. It always felt so good to me when I'd sit and I'd journal about what my life would look like when I was commuting into London, modeling, and I would be journaling about taking midday baths and being able to afford massages and having client calls on Zoom. And like, I would sit into that energy. It's giving me shivers. I would like literally look up my vision board and go, yeah, come on, I know I can do this. I know. So I'd always be very much in that energy. And then I worked on my beliefs. I hired the coaches. I got myself into programs. I surrounded myself with other people that were making 6 figures way before I was. I was going to events. I was hiring the coaches. I was surrounding myself in groups with the type of people that were already making that. Did I feel like a tiny fish in a big pond? Yes. You know, did at times I have doubts? Absolutely. Did I at times think, oh my God, this is never going to happen for me? Yeah, of course. But the majority of the time, I would believe that it would happen. I would literally, to a point where I would sit and work out, if I made 8,000, what that would look like, how much I'd pay the tax, how much I'd do this, what I'd spend on this, how much would be in my business account. Like, I'd done all of that. And I still do to this day. You know, there's the money goal's different. So I think it's so important that you really get into the feelings of things. And to me, details are like, getting into the details of like how much money I'd make and those types of things give me energy. If it gives you energy, do it. If it adds pressure, then you don't want to do that. And it depending again on your human design. Are you someone that's like into details or not? Like, to me, I'm very much bigger picture. I'm not really into the small kind of details of things. I've made myself more into the details of things to run the business I have. But I'm very much a bigger picture type of person, and I don't need to get into the nitty gritties of the how. I'm good at detaching away from that, but it's work. And it's a constant amount of work that you commit to and that you constantly do. Do you experience doubt and triggers now? Absolutely. Like, I am human. Of course I get doubt. Of course I do. Do I get triggers? Yeah, I think that definitely things can still come up for sure. Definitely not the amount that they did used to, for sure, but especially before, you know, I learned the modality that I teach now, before I had the download of Conscious Coach, all of these things. Yes, before that I had a lot of triggers. 2022 was like trigger central for me. But now not so much. And anytime they do come out, I'm just so thankful and grateful that I have the tools to be able to work through it, because it can be really challenging. It can be really crushing. You know, when you do experience a trigger and you don't actually know how to work through it, and you're like, why has this come up for me again? Why am I not making the money that blah, blah is? Why is this feeling so hard for me? Why is it easy for everybody else? You know, that person just seems to, it all just seems to go so well for them and not for me. Like, yeah, of course, you know, but you have to be able to how to navigate through those triggers. You know, I feel like I'm saying the same thing, but it is work. It is. And this is why I think I always stand true to this by saying the strategy part. Yeah, if you don't know it, of course it's hard, but it's not hard. That where the real work is on yourself. Like, because someone can give you a strategy, you can hire a coach, you know, hire to work with me, and I can give you a strategy. Where the work really is going into the growth of why you think the way you do, and how we can shift that, and what's come up for you, and what does that actually mean, and how is mind processing that data, and for you to really understanding the neuroscience behind you and your mind, and why you have the reality you do, and all of these things. Like, that's the real work. I'll stand by that forever. I have just found out I'm pregnant. Oh, congratulations. And even though I am over the moon, I'm scared how this will change and affect my business. Would love your perspective on this. Okay, I'm going to keep it real. It will change your business, and it will absolutely change you. And it will affect your business. I'm just going to be honest, it absolutely will. But it doesn't have to be a negative effect. It doesn't have to be a negative connotation, negative thing. It doesn't have to be. It's different. I think that's probably the better word for it. Life is going to be very different for you. Business is going to look very, very different for you. I always say this actually, but what the hell did I do with my time before having Santiago? Like, when I had, if I wanted 7 days of the week to work on my business, but I feel like what Santiago's done for me is deepen my why so much more. Like, it goes beyond the depth that I thought was even achievable, even believable, even capable, right? And the passion and the drive I have right now inside of me is because of Santiago. And what I want to achieve and the reasons why I want to achieve them goes so much more deeper now. Like, having a child just gives you, I don't know, that added oomph, you know, when you got to dig deep, you know, when things are not going so well for you and you got to dig deep, like you just do, you find this inner freaking strength. And, you know, of course, there's the reality side to things. Like, you know, when you have a newborn, don't think that, and nor should you nor should you feel that you've got to work, you know, take some time out. I mean, I'm really fortunate in regards to, I love what I do, and I know you guys do as well. I went back to work, I think like 3 weeks after having Santiago, you know, and because my people that were in the tribe, I would show up for like the live calls and stuff. You know, that didn't feel like work. So I think we could look at this from two perspectives, and the perspectives I like to look at it is a glass half full. Like, this is incredible. Like, how amazing that you're pregnant, how amazing that you can have a baby and you're going to show them how you can run a business. And also what it done for me was create boundaries and structure in my business. I used to kind of work willy-nilly. I used to just go, yeah, I do a bit of this and I do a bit of that. No. Now I am strategic as hell. I'm very, very intentional with everything I do. I work 3 days a week. They're my days to work. I can work it around Santi. I have got the most incredible support network behind me. Like, my mum's incredible. So I do have all of this in place. Santiago goes to nursery Monday and Fridays, which he absolutely loves. So I suppose I want to be an inspiration to you that you can do both. You absolutely can. I would definitely look at, I don't know your situation right now, but if you have a VA, I think that could be really, really beneficial for you, just to add that support for you so that when you are off, other things are kind of ticking along in the business. What I would do now is really work on what your business plan is going to look like. Like, what do you want your life to look like when you have your baby? How much do you want to be working? Like, how much do you want to be serving your clients? For example, I stopped doing one-on-one. I was doing more just my group and my membership. That's now changed, right? So now Santiago's 3, she just turned 3. Now I'm taking on more one-on-one clients. So it really kind of just, you've got to build it around you and your life, but it can be absolutely incredible. Absolutely. I would have a good support network around you. Like, if you don't have some biz besties, definitely get inside of a group program with other like-minded women that get it, because you're going to need and want their support. And, if you can, get yourself inside some form of mentorship, one-on-one coaching or something, so you really can kind of dial in now. So you can put the kind of the markers in place. So when you do have baby, you're like, I've got this covered. I know what I'm doing. Money's ticking in. Like, I've got this recurring income coming in, like whatever they may look like for you. But I think this can be a really exciting thing. Okay. Next few questions, and then we will have to round it up, because I've got a live at 11 inside my tribe membership group, which is my membership for mindset. Okay, I'm doing the money mindset work, but I still don't feel I'm making the money I desire. I'm not sure why this is. I'm being high vibes and I'm thinking positive thoughts, but yet not seeing the money in the bank. Okay. The number that you are seeing in your account is a direct reflection to the beliefs around and about money that you have, that you hold. It's a direct reflection. That can be hard. That can be hard to see and can be hard to hear, but it's the truth. Your core beliefs around money see it as a frequency. Okay. Just as you're listening to this audio and watching this video, it's a frequency. Those frequencies have to match. If the frequency of money is here, but you're down here, you're not an energetic match to that money. And that is why that money is not in that account. When I talk about core beliefs, this isn't like affirmations like I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. I'm just going to believe I'm rich, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy. I can make 20K, I can make 30K. And no. This is your core beliefs around money. And the majority of the time it's come from the ages of 0 to 7, when you were conditioned, you were imprinted by your parents and your caregivers, your surroundings, school, education, social media around money. So this is why, and you mentioned about being high vibed. High vibe doesn't equal rich, because there's plenty of high vibed, happy people that are not rich. And there's plenty of rich people that are miserable as hell. So it's not about that. What it's about is that core, your core beliefs around it. So that's why when somebody can be in a shitty mood and still earn shit tons of money. Why though? Because their core belief is, I always get to make money. Money's not a thing. Yeah, I'm in a crappy mood, or yeah, I feel a bit tired today, or the baby had me up, or it's period time, or I just feel a little bit off. That's not being reflected in their bank account. because their core belief is money always comes to me. I always get to make money. Like money's always supporting me. What do you mean? What do you mean money would stop because I'm in a bad mood? That'd be so ridiculous. These are two very different things. Money just always comes to me. It's always supporting me. It's always flowing me. Like I'm the lucky girl. That's the energy of money. Okay. So what I want you to look at is look at your relationship with money. Like truly your relationship. Like if I was to say to you, look at your relationship with your mum, look at your relationship with your partner, like sit down with your journal and actually look at it. Is this relationship healthy? Is it one-sided? Is it needy? Is it scarcity? Because your relationship with money is the reason why you have your relationship with money is the reason why you have the money you do right now. Okay. So when I think about the relationship I have, let's say with my husband, the reason why it is the way it is because of the work we do, the relationship we've built, our beliefs around each other, our morals, all of these are factors into, of course, that wouldn't even cross my mind. Yeah, absolutely. We support each other. We back each other. Energy's there. Absolutely. So can you see? So we need to look at this relationship when it comes to then our money, right? Look at your beliefs. What are your true beliefs around money? Making money, holding money, spending money. What are your beliefs? What comes up? And then what's important is to look at your behaviors around money, around rich people, around wealth, around obtaining money for yourself. Is there any contradiction there? Does your body seem to contract? Because when we feel expansive, when we feel open, when our vessel is clear, of course money will come through. It's those sticky little block bits is what we need to work on. Okay, so the money's there and you're here. We just need to work on this funnel right now of all the stuff that's going around, because the way you see about money, the way you feel about money is the reason why you have that number in your account. So I'd love you to go away, do this work, and then let me know how you feel afterwards. And sometimes, you know what, when we're talking about money, it can be very, very, very triggering. And I say this to my clients, that the money work never changes. Like it never stops. You continually do this money work. I'm always working on my money work. I'm always trying to clean out this relationship as much as I possibly can. I want to be that open vessel. I want to be expansive. I don't want there to be any contraction. I don't want there to be any resistance, any contradiction. I don't want there to be any of that. I feel like today's theme is, and it's the work. But okay, I have had a very challenging client who would show up late to our calls, not apologize, not do the work, then moan that it's not working and blame me. Oh my goodness. Okay. I always find it really interesting when people blame the coach. And I'm going to talk here from a point of you've hired a good coach. Okay. I'm going to talk from that perspective, because of course unfortunately, that there is everywhere in the world. There are good and there are not so good. Okay. Maybe inexperienced, maybe in it for the wrong reasons. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to say, I'm going to come from a perspective of you're a great coach and the problem is this. I find it really, really interesting when somebody isn't losing weight and they go, I can't believe I'm not losing weight. It's the gym. It's the gym. It's that running machine. I can't believe that running machine. Nobody says that. Why? Because it's not the truth. It's not the running machine's fault. It's not the apple's fault that you're eating, right? We need to look inside ourselves. And this is exactly the same with when it comes to a coach and a program. Okay. We can't blame the tools but that's so much more easier, isn't it? It's very much easier to blame an external circumstance and a person. You know, it's the coach's fault, it's the program's fault, it's the membership's fault, it's the fill in the blank. That's so much more easier than taking the radical responsibility to actually, I'm not showing up. I'm in this half-heartedly. I'm turning up late to the calls. I'm not doing the homework. I'm trying to say, why is this not working? And I'm blaming my coach. Really? You need to take some radical responsibility here, right? So as a coach, we help facilitate the change. And this is what I always say, when my clients get the most incredible results, I don't always go, that's down to me. Yeah, she made 10K. Oh, yeah, all over to me, because it's not. Yes, I taught them the tools and techniques. Yes, I helped them shift their mindset. and unfunk themselves and shift those blocks that are laying there subconsciously. Yes, I was there to help, support, keeping them accountable, giving them a kick up the arse, of course, all of that, but they had to do the work. And this is why as coaches, we teach, I will give the same energy, the same work to two different people, and this person will skyrocket and this person won't. Well, it can't be the tool, right? It's got to be the person. So I feel like in this situation, what I'd want you to say is, what have you learned from this situation? Because something's always a lesson or a blessing, for sure. How much are you attaching your clients' results to your self-worth? Yeah. How much are you? And we've all been there. You want to ride the highs and be like, whoa, yeah, I'm a badass because I helped her get to 10K. And then this client isn't doing the work. You're like, oh, it's because I'm not good enough. No. So I want you to look at that. I also want you to look at were there red flags that you ignored? Were you on that call and you were like, this feels like hard work. Don't know if she's going to do the work. She said she's worked with 50 coaches before and none of them have worked. Is there some red flags there? She could just be really, really unlucky that's worked with 50 very, very, very bad coaches, or she could be the problem. And I've shared this experience, this story before, and I'll share it again because it's very potent. I had a client that I was on a call with years ago now, and she really wanted to work with me one-on-one. And I just didn't think we were the right fit. And I always say this, I don't do sales calls. I'm not on the call to convince you to work with me. I'm on the call to have a chat to see if this is in alignment. Not just for you, for me. If you're the right ideal client for me, are you going to light my world up? This is a relationship. Okay, it's like going on a date. This isn't just about you picking me. This is me going, do I want this girl in my world? So, and everything inside of me was like, felt resistance. I was like, no. And then I was like, oh no, but she really needs my help and she really wants to work with me. But I was seeing that this doesn't feel great. There's something there. And I said to her, it's a no, but I can give you a free resource and you can go and do this and this. And then she was like, no. Okay, I'll pay you double. And that was a red flag for me. Not because I didn't want to accept double from her, but if I would have gone along with that, I would have been doing it for the wrong reasons, because I wouldn't be listening to my gut. My gut was saying, no, it doesn't matter if you want to pay me double. My gut is still right, still a no. Because even if she was to pay me 20,000, 30,000 to work with me, that would have been the hardest 20, 30,000 pounds I would have ever made in my life. Also, you don't know what the knock-on effects of that would have been on my energy. My energy is worth so much more than just the money that's in the bank. My energy is also needs to be contained for the right people, the people with my other clients that are paying to be in my world. So there was just not enough. Like, no, it's a no. It's an absolute no. And I share that with you because I want you to get to that point where, like, don't just sign clients for money. Okay. And I know sometimes it can feel you want to help everybody and you think this might be the right thing, but if your gut is saying and you're feeling like it's a red flag, then it's a red flag. So I would look at that. And then also I want you to think about what boundaries could you now create in order to not have this situation again? Because you can look at it, her not showing up in the calls. Where are the boundaries of that? This isn't about, if someone's got a call at 10 o'clock and they don't show up till 10:15, they can't expect an extra 15 minutes because you've got back-to-back calls. And even if you don't, you have to have those boundaries to go, okay, we've only got to 11. Okay, cool. I'm so sorry. They do it again. Well, where's the boundaries in place that about our time and both respecting that? Where were the boundaries in place that if she doesn't do the work, in the second call, the third call, she hasn't done the work, having that honest conversation to go, I had to have a conversation once with a client and then she was like, I just feel like you don't message me back quick enough. And that was a lesson for me to go, wow, I want to put this in my emails, that this isn't you pay X amount to work with me and then I'm at your beck and call. Like, that's not what coaching is, but then that was on me to then share that and show that, and so there's always something that you can look back and reflect on and go, right, where was that not clear for them? Where did they think that I was at their beck and call? And if I didn't message back after 2 seconds of replying, then that would make her upset. Okay. And also understanding what they have experienced before. So this person had obviously worked with a less experienced coach at a very different price point, and this person didn't have any boundaries, so over delivered. Like I think she paid for like 5 calls and they probably gave 50 hours, you know, and there was that her beck and call. So then of course that's not her fault, that's just how she's been conditioned of what coaches should do. So then we need to set that tone and make it clear for our clients, firstly for our own boundaries, and secondly to teach our clients about boundaries. So many of my clients say to me, Tash, you teach me how to set boundaries with my own clients. You teach me how to switch off because that's what you do. You stick to your word. Absolutely. I love going over and beyond for my clients for sure, but there are 1,000,000% boundaries. Okay. Okay. Last question. I'll have to leave the rest till the next time. So last question. I would love to work one-on-one with you. How do I go about doing that? Amazing. Send me a DM with the word badass. Let's have a chat about where you are right now in your business, where you'd like it to get to, and give me as much detail as possible. And then what I would do is, if I feel like it's the right fit, I'll invite you onto a call. We'll talk more. And then if I'm like, yeah, I feel like this could be perfect alignment, we'll talk about the different packages that I offer. I offer 1.5 month, 3 month, and 6 month packages. And if not, then I'll say, listen, I don't think this is the right fit for you, and I'll offer and suggest something else. It could be one of my free audios. It could be another package. I don't know until we have that chat. I hope you have loved Tash Talks, a live show, as much I have been having the best time delivering for you. Don't forget to check out the podcast. Check out the link below. I'm your coach, the free workshop that's happening next Wednesday. Your chance to jump in and experience what it's like to have me as your one-on-one private coach. Go and have the most epic day because you are a freaking badass. Bye-bye.